Welcome to your Conscious Choices for Wellness podcast, hosted by B. Crutelli. This is a space for everyone to learn anything and everything related to healthy healing, including naturopathic medicine, music, dance, yoga, meditation, eco-fashion, mothering, and organic lifestyle choices. Topics for expanding universal consciousness. Come join me weekly as we delve in and begin this journey, sharing valuable content gathered over the past 3 decades, helping to support a healthier and more sustainable future for all. Hello and welcome to today's episode. Happy June. Happy Oneness to everybody that is out there trying to do better in the world. This episode I'm feeling similar to other ones that I've done recently that are all connected, having to do with how we have connection to Earth and, yes, with the soil, but also to each other and to all living beings. So I'm titling my writing, my Substack blog, Understanding the Symbiotic Connection and the Intelligence Within. Now, speaking of the intelligence within is talking about soil, and because living soil has an intelligence, and so do we as humans. So that's specifically what I'm referring to. And I just welcome you all. Thank you for being here. And we are going to explore the sacred intersections of how natural healing, planetary wellness, and soul-rooted living. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for joining me. Today's episode is an invitation to y'all not just to listen, but to remember and reflect on an ancient principle of life, essential to us all in this vastly changing time that we are experiencing right now. As humans on this planet, walking upon the earth, not forgetting about the soil beneath our feet, okay, and the earth that we walk upon. And I feel like we've all been conditioned in our life. Many of us, let's say most of us, have been conditioned to think one way that, leads into how we feel. And we are mostly losing our connection with one another and to our connection to our planet. And this is very important because we didn't all have to come here, right? It's a gift to be here, and we were chosen to come here for a specific purpose, to do good work, and to keep our connection to one another, because we are all one, we are all connected, we are not separate, and we are not alone. And I, really wish that I could work with people that are feeling really alone, because I know I felt alone myself. I know many, of us struggle with that at times, and it can, leave us feeling, lonely, but also lead to depression and anxiety and just, not good overall health. So we are part of an expansive living wholeness of one breath, one body, one being, all expressed through many living forms. This is the truth of quote unquote oneness. Let's begin with the breath. I would like to breathe with you and to remember how to breathe, because again, so many of us have lost our breath, our consciousness of our breath that connects us. So stopping, pausing, whatever you're doing, even if you're driving, you can do this. Just don't close your eyes. Inhaling deeply through your nose. First, exhale out completely. Make sure you completely exhaled out any air you have left in your body. And then inhaling deeply through your nose, all the way down to your core, into your belly, into your root chakra, and feeling the life moving through you. The life coming in through your breath from what is out there that is giving you this inhalation, this breath that is sustaining your life. Hold it for a few seconds and then exhale all the way out even more until no air can be found. Every last breath is completely out of your body. Imagine that breath returning back to the trees. Yes, we share our breath with the trees. Every living tree and plant that sustains us, giving back to us oxygen so that we can stay alive by literally breathing without even thinking. Now, we want to be more conscious of our breath and not just unconsciously be breathing, because most of that unconscious breath is not really bringing us the best benefits that we can get from our breath, which is if we can slow down even every day and try to consciously breathe slower, inhaling deeper and exhaling deeper, then the more we practice this, the more it'll become, just regular day to day. And you will notice that it is really benefiting your health, and you will not feel as stressed, and you will be getting more nutrients, and it will help your digestion and your anxiety and whatever you're dealing with. It will definitely benefit in every way. So we all share our DNA with every other human being on this earth. We all share almost the exact same DNA, whether we want to believe that to be true or not. It is true. So that is why there is no race. We are all equal. We are all one. Okay, we are all really of the same. We might look different, whether we have different skin colors or different, features, or, we're all, different, right? We dress different. We, might look different from one another, but inside we are the same. Okay, our DNA of what makes us human. We share these elements of our body also with the stars. So the stars are made up of different minerals like calcium that we have in our bones, to the iron that we have in our blood. So we are also related to the galaxy above us, right? All of it is forged into ancient explosions of light that we possibly came from. If you want to open your mind and think of where we came from, where are we going back to when we die, when we leave our bodies? We are connected, okay, to everything around us in this universe, up in the sky and down below. We are not just visitors here, or in a sense, we are in human form, we are visiting, right? We are getting a chance, a gift to come here in human form to experience being a human, right? But we are the earth. We are of this earth. We are of the universal cosmos. We are each other. Upon listening to one of my favorite podcasts last week, Know Thyself, with guest Dr. Zach Bush, I felt ever more inspired to explore the sacred connection of oneness that is all around us. Everywhere in nature, we can find this energy that is part of the whole essence that vibrates positive connection to all. Remembering that the microbiome truth is simple. Our gut health is based on the microbes that live there. And our planet also relies on the microbes within it for its vitality, for the health of our soil, for the health of our food, for the health of all living plant life, is dependent on those microbes. That sounds pretty crazy, right? Well, once we all start to recognize this truth of microbial health within us, then we can practice more on nourishing these microbes that sustain us all. Our microbes are literally connecting us more to nature and everything else living as well. This is a topic on the rise, and I'm intrigued to explore more. So, since I've personally been dealing with my own gut health forever now, as well as my clients' well being, those that I help with their health, may these microscopic organisms be the ultimate source of connection of the human race and beyond. Here's a fact that I found: the human microbiome contains more microbial DNA than any other human DNA, linking us to the bacterial and fungal worlds that are all around us. Okay, so we are literally connected through these microbes that we share. And this concept of oneness is rich and deeply resonant across spiritual, scientific, and many ecological perspectives. So I feel now, and have finally personally come to the conclusion on my journey at age 51, that we have and still are being fooled by societal imprinting. Imprinting hardwires our brains at a developmental age, subsequently evolving and affecting our decisions and behaviors later in life. And the term quote unquote imprinting initially described the process by which an animal memorizes a stimulus, right, like an experience, to then react consciously later on for its survival. So us humanoids have also been hardwired over our lifetime by whatever influenced our growing up years. We are all still really growing up all the time at various speeds. It's an ongoing process. It's definitely, I think you learn at a certain point that it's just an ongoing process. From, dealing with what we were imprinted on as a child, not just from our families and our peers, but, just society at large, like whatever we were taught in these institutions that we're all forced to go to. And we are imprinted. And a lot of that can not be maybe what is real, it isn't really necessarily all the things that we should be taught. And I think a lot of parents would really agree when you see then what your kids, are learning at school. You see kind of like secondhand, like we saw it firsthand, but we didn't really realize as kids, unless our parents were like being like, no, this isn't what you should be learning, or maybe you should be learning this, or I'm going to make sure you learn this. But most of us realize when we become adults, especially as parents, that our kids in these, quote unquote school type institutions are being fed a lot of stuff that really isn't like the knowledge that you need to live a sustainable, healthy life when you're an adult, right? And so we have to try to figure that out. And the imprinting that influences current situational decisions, which are in some way psychologically reminiscent of a past experience. So imprinting may either negatively or positively affect our decisions. And whether they may be trauma-based, they're reflective in the formation of healthy habits, illogical fears, lifestyle choices, and responses to trauma. So who were we before this imprinting happened, right? Like who were we, like our natural state when we came here, when we were born? We were even imprinted in the womb. We experienced more and more imprinting, but we were like a raw state of being, something that was more and greater, something that came here to have a purpose, to make a difference, right? We didn't just come here for nothing. So then we started getting these imprints, but who were we before? And what is our true essence beneath these imprints? We are all part of this greater universal consciousness, connected like the mycelium is part of the forest. Lying underground, silent, unseen, but essential. If we forget this, we suffer. Suffer by feeling loss of connection. When disconnected, we feel our emotions more. Maybe also this disconnect may be felt on an ecological level. Acknowledging this connection deepens our understanding of who we are spiritually, bringing peace within at all times, especially when directly in nature. We feel this. We feel that connection. Just that's why nature, being outside, outdoors, the deeper you are in nature, the more you just really feel that, whoa, like that superstar connection, that roots connection, bringing you back to where you came from. Remembering that reconnection is always possible, that's the good news, and still easy to find for most. The soil beneath our feet is alive, and the microbiome inside our bodies mirrors these microbes beneath us. Thus, when we spend time in nature, when we grow our food, when we touch the ground, we're not just grounding, we're being in union, in unison with our creator, with, our home. And that is above all, right? I mean, that is really like the most important aspect of being. And so we are repopulating our bodies with the earth's ancient intelligence. And we are remembering what it feels like to belong. So, how do we live from this place of oneness? Like, how can we, what are some simple things that we can do? We can slow down. We're, most of us just moving way too fast. And I've been hearing a lot of information that I really believe from experts out there that, obviously we all know things are really changing with the world of artificial intelligence and how jobs are going to be changing. And I mean, in the next 5 years, just so much is going to be different. And it's happening very rapidly. So we might as well start to slow down now, save our health, listen, choose presence over perfection, be present with one another, honor the earth, even like honoring the earth by, maybe doing things like not using plastic, not using things that are, are going to pollute the earth, products that are just, buying too much crap that is just going to like pollute the earth. Also, just, being more mindful of how you can do your part to sustain the earth. That is honoring our earth, which is our home, nourishing our own bodies, right? Because we're all connected. We're connected to the earth. When we nourish our own bodies and take care of ourselves, we are also taking care of the earth. Eating organically grown foods and treating other living beings, other organisms with loving kindness. Now, I know all these things aren't easy, but the more we can practice them or any of them, we will feel more connection. And that's what this oneness is all about. We need more connection because there is way too much disconnection that has happened over the last decade, let's say, but even the last 5 years has been even more. And now things are really changing even more rapidly with AI coming in the last year or two. And it's just completely going to just change everything that we knew, especially with what's happening in our own government here in the US, what all over the world is seeing, what's happening to the United States. Much separation is happening, much division, and we are completely losing our connection to one another. And let's bring it back. Let's remember that we can bring it back. We have more power than they do. And if this episode has spoken to you in any way, please share it, leave a comment, or better yet, a kind review. Thank you so much for joining me today. And next week, I'm going to definitely get off this topic a little bit. I am going to be talking about addiction soon. I have a couple of guests that I'm going to have talking about different kinds of addiction. Probably definitely have one on in June, maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks from now. And I think next week I'll probably talk about some kind of nutrient or something to that we need this time of year going into summer. So let's keep making conscious choices for ourselves, for each other, and for all beings. Keep the oneness alive. Peace and blessings. And I'm going to leave with a Rumi quote. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop.
Thank you all so very much for listening today. I genuinely hope that you learned something, and I invite you to join me each week so you never miss a conscious wellness beat. This podcast holds a special place in my heart dedicated to my evolution here, my passionate mission to spread more consciousness for the much needed wellness on Earth. Come join me as a guest as well. Let's collaborate, making change for future generations.